Hey everyone, are you an animal lover? Are you vegan? Do you want to stop supporting brands that aren't cruelty free and vegan but you're not sure which ones are or aren't? Keep watching till the end and maybe you'll get all your answers. So let's get on with the video. Now throughout the video, it might get pretty confusing, so I need you to listen carefully and just stay with me. Now, the term cruelty-free is used like an umbrella term by a lot of brands just to throw off customers. And there are a lot of speculations regarding what the definition of the term might be, but what it essentially means is when a product is not tested on animals during or after the production process. So there are a lot of misconceptions on the term cruelty-free that I want to clear first. Number one, vegan does not equal to cruelty-free. A lot of brands try to use these two terms synonymously, but they have two completely different meanings. Cruelty-free, like I said, means when a product is not tested on animals. On the other hand, vegan means when an animal product is not used as an ingredient in the actual product. For example, a very common animal product that is used to make red or purple shades for non-vegan brands is carmine. Now, what is carmine? Carmine is a type of bug or beetle, if you will, that is crushed to make natural red pigment. Vegan brands as an alternative use a synthetic dye called Red 42, which has an intense red pigment and might even stain your skin. An example of a brand that is cruelty-free but not vegan is Kylie Cosmetics. Her lip kits, concealers, eyeshadow palettes are not tested on animals, but she does have a line of makeup brushes which are made of natural animal hair bristles, which obviously cannot be considered vegan. Number 2. Just because a brand is certified by PETA, that does not necessarily mean that they're 100% cruelty-free. I can understand why that might be pretty disappointing because I myself used to completely rely on PETA certification. But apparently the brand is not very reliable because they don't go in depth when researching testing practices, because PETA looks at animal abuse in an overall aspect, not just the beauty or fashion industries. However, I want to recommend two very reliable and trustworthy sources to you guys, which is Logical Harmony and Leaping Bunny. We also have Cruelty Free Cat and Ethical Elephant, which are also pretty reliable and trustworthy, but they don't include a lot of indie brands, which might be a problem for some people. Now for this, you need to listen carefully because it can get pretty confusing. If a brand sells their makeup in mainland China, it is not cruelty free. However, there are a lot of loopholes in this statement. If a brand sells their makeup in Hong Kong but not in mainland China, it can still be cruelty free. If a brand sells their products online in China but not in stores, it can be cruelty free. If a brand has their products manufactured in China but not sold out there, it can be cruelty free. The only time you can be confident that a brand is not cruelty free is if they sell their products in physical retail stores in China. There is a law in China that requires brands that want to have their products imported into the country and sold in the markets to have them tested on animals. Now, don't worry guys, China is slowly branching out to stop animal testing and promote alternative testing methods, but it's a gradual process, so don't get too excited. Number 4. Now let's talk about parent companies. Some brands are cruelty-free, but they're owned by a larger company that is not cruelty-free. For example, Smashbox is a cruelty-free brand, but they're owned by Estee Lauder, which is not, and Urban Decay is a cruelty-free brand, but they're owned by L'Oreal, which is not. Now there's one thing I'd like to point out. If you're someone who wants to strictly switch to cruelty-free products only and you say, okay, this brand might be cruelty-free but their parent company isn't, so I don't want to support them at all, think again. At the end of the day, these parent companies are big corporations. They'll follow the money trail. So if they see that more of the customers are going for their cruelty-free brands and not their other brands, they're going to want to change all their brands to cruelty-free. It's all a gradual process. And number 5, just because a brand is declaring that they're cruelty-free, that does not mean they really are. When it comes to cruelty-free, there is no FDA approval or regulation or any medical term associated with it, which is why it's very easy for brands to fool customers into thinking that their brand is cruelty-free. There are a lot of brands, especially skincare brands, that practice the greenwashing technique, which is when they'll claim that their products are natural, devoid of chemicals, clean, vegan, and as you focus and get fascinated by these surface elements, you completely forget to question, wait, are these products tested on animals or not? And most of the times, if not all the time, these brands are not cruelty-free. If you're really serious about going completely cruelty-free, you can either rely on the sources that I provided you, which is Logical Harmony and Leaping Bunny, or you can directly email the brand asking them certain questions like, do you sell your products in stores in mainland China? Do you commission a third party to test your products? And please elaborate on how your product testing process is carried out and things of that nature. Some brands, because they don't want to lose a customer, will write back trying to gaslight you or beat around the bush and not really answer your questions directly, which obviously means they're not actually cruelty-free. If you have watched this far, comment stop greenwashing. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.